is this track the problem, or are the drivers or IMSA IndyCar approach to the track the problem?
Well, to be honest with you, Joe, I really think that the design of this track is the reason why we're seeing all the chaos and carnage that we've been seeing at this Detroit track in the second year of its existence. It was just really crazy, especially the IndyCar race today. It seemed like every time we started to go racing, there was just caution after caution after caution after caution. And whoever designed this track, I think they knew exactly what they were doing, because it seemed like that this street circuit is strictly for, I guess, if you want to call it entertainment, but I'm sure the drivers didn't really have a good time out there. I saw Graham Rahal, Pato Award saying they missed Belle Isle. I saw Ryan Hunter-Reay even post a photo of Belle Isle, reminiscing to past memories at that track. And after seeing all the chaos we saw in this IndyCar race, it seems like a lot of people want to see Belle Isle return. I don't even know if that's even remotely a realistic possibility, but Belle Isle was trending on X/Twitter today, so I guess that should tell you something. It got a lot of people talking, and I think they could potentially, stay in the downtown Detroit area for a while. But I really believe in order to fix all of the issues we saw with this very tight track, I think the track layout certainly needs some changes.
Yeah, I mean, nailed it on the head, Kobe. It's funny because I felt like just a couple of years ago, when we were still having Belle Isle, not aware of what was going to happen, it felt like people were saying, oh, let's go back to downtown. This racing is boring. And now it feels like the, tables have turned, and it feels like the script's totally flipped. But can I say it's a little bit of both? It feels like a little bit of both. Naturally, I mean, you've got one solid shot, turn 3, as your overtaking shot, and you have your restart zone going into that only place. That in and of itself seems like a curation of chaos. But that being said, it's also on the drivers too. If cautions breed cautions, it's up for them to not, make that a bigger issue than it already is. So I do think it's kind of funny that Brian Herta hated it and turned it into a lottery, when Colton Herta, you can say what you will about the race he drove, but he did a major part in spinning that wheel again. So I think it's a combination of both. Going back to the Belle Isle thing, though, it was a combination of Detroit wanted the race kind of in their backyard, and they wanted to move it into Detroit, and also from the city and the state, because Belle Isle, that's prime area, and they wanted to give that back to the city during what should be like essentially the best weather of the year. And obviously, Kobe, not exactly the weather they wanted for today, which also totally played into that. That's a whole nother factor.
The weather today played a big factor, and I think that lengthy caution had even the commentators asking what was going on. And they was trying to get the running order, but it really felt odd because it almost felt like we were waiting for the rain to go by. And if you had made a pit stop for the wet tires, you put yourself now in a bad spot because the caution was so long. Correct me if I'm wrong, McLaughlin going off, correct? That was the cause of that caution?
I believe so. And that was even more of the issue, because we had all these guys going on wets, and it ended up doing nothing for them because we didn't even get any green time with drivers on the wet tires, because it was a mix of race control, not being able to get this race back to green, to issues with the pace car, to drivers just instantly putting us back to square one. So frustrating for sure.